Aloha, this is the GTN Show. We're here in Kona, Hawaii, ahead of the Ironman World Championships. Unfortunately, Mark's feeling a little poorly, but on the plus side, I've managed to find a replacement. Delighted to say I've got Will Clarke alongside. Will, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
I was wondering how I should introduce you to our viewers.
Well, most people remember me for my 2003 performance in the beer mile, 5:09, 5:09 for 4 pints and 4 laps of the track is not too bad, I guess.
So you're fueled by beer. Today you're fueled by cocktails.
Today fueled by cocktails, out of action. I would love to be here racing myself, but I broke my shoulder, so yeah. Well, I thought I'd come on the show and fill in for my buddy who's a bit poorly.
Oh, well, every cloud, hey?
Yeah, get well, Mark.
This is a Kona special, so I'm going to be making the most of our guest Will, picking his brains as we look ahead to Saturday's race. As well as that, we've got all the usual GTN Show stuff. It's just a few days away from the big race of the year, the Ironman World Champs. And as I've got great expertise sat next to me, I'm going to use it. Will, I want to know what your predictions are, 1, 2 and 3 for the men's and the women's race.
Well, let's start with the men. That's the one I know best, as I've competed against them all myself. The thing about Ironman Hawaii is it's a real classic race. There's not often big surprises here. I mean, the strongest guys in the world usually prevail. So I'm going to go very boring and say that Frodeno is going to win it again.
Okay.
He's kind of that class above everyone else, it seems, at the moment. So he's my obvious pick, and I'll be mad to bet against him, really. So second all, I think Sebastian Kienle is also going to have a little bit of a tussle with him, but I think Jan's going to edge him after kind of 10 miles again.
Yeah.
Jan's always one step ahead on the tactics, so you're not really going to outsmart him. So as long as he's in shape, then I think he's normally a pretty safe bet.
Okay. So tough one for third. Have you got?
And then third, it is a tough one because those guys are on a bit of another level, and then the third one is going to be a bit more of a surprise, and I'm going to stick my neck out and go for Bart Aernouts.
Okay.
He's my teammate. I know him well, and I know he's in really good shape. He's in the best shape that he's been in for quite a while after various problems over the years, whatever they may have been. And I think he's going to have a fantastic race this year. And if he's not, I mean, he's been seventh and 9th and 10th before, so he's. You know, if he's going to step up, he's looking lean and mean, and he's going to be my pick for the third spot.
Okay, well there we have it from Will for the men's 1, 2, 3. What about a wild card? Is there anyone you think that if it all goes right on the day, they could be dangerous?
Yeah, lots, especially for that third spot. I mean, everyone's talking about Lionel. I think he's great. He's an amazing athlete. Puts in some incredible hours. But we were also talking about this last year. And last year he had a shocker, so that just shows how unpredictable Hawaii can be. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the podium at all.
Moving on to the women, maybe a little bit harder for you because you don't race against them. What's your 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, again, I'm boring. I'm going to go with Daniela again because she's fit at the right time. She was average at the start of the year with injuries. Average for her. She's still awesome. So I think some of the men are going to have to be looking over their shoulders for her as well.
I think so.
I know I did last year. wasn't good times for me. So I'm going with her. I'm going with Heather Jackson for second. She's a class runner. I think her swimming's pretty good from what I remember. She's very strong on a bike, very fast runner.
We saw her have a great performance at the ITU long course as
exactly,
well.
And she's
strong there.
Sometimes, I mean, even if you've got a big deficit in this race off the bike, it's perfectly reasonable to run through by 10-15 minutes. It's happened in the past, lots of times.
Okay.
So she's one to watch out for. And my third was, who did I just think of right now? Michelle Vesterby.
Ah.
Yeah, she was fourth last year. I know. I'm coached by Luke Van Leerd, and I know from him that she's in great shape again.
Yeah.
Again, she knows how to get in shape at the right, and Luke knows how to get in shape at the right time.
Well, we actually had a chance to chat to her, and she was saying that she seems excited about the race, but also just saying it's about being knowing your body and understanding, and it sounds like she's in that place that she's feeling brave. confident from what she's saying.
Her little slogan is
keep smiling.
Yeah. And honestly, in that race, it sounds really cheesy. And when Chrissy Wellington first said it, I was thinking, what are you on about? Like, come on. Cut the
Hawaiian spirit.
Cut the crap a little bit. But actually, sometimes in these Ironman races, I try and feed off the crowd. I try and give them some high fives. Thank the guys at the aid stations. Yeah. Try and get some laughs, and it really like picks you up and carries you through. And I think that's one thing that she's got going for her. She can find positivity in when she's deep in the energy lab and she's hurting and it's hot and there's no wind and there's no drinks going around. Yeah. And I think that's a very good recipe for success here.
Oh, great reasoning there for having Michelle as your third choice. Now, final one, the wild card in the women's race.
Wild card, Anya Bernek.
Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce her.
I can't help you on that one, I'm afraid.
I also know her a little bit, and she's I think she's in great shape again, and again I think she's going to be fit at the right time, and she's my wild card.
Great. Well, there's the ones to watch from Will Clarke. Well, after Fabian Cancellara moved from cycling into triathlon, it seems like he's set up a bit of a trend, because we've just heard that Andrew Talansky, only a couple of months after retiring, in his words, has unretired, and he's now looking at taking up triathlon, and he's out here in Kona checking out the course. Now, we've not spotted him yet, but he could be one to watch next year. Will, are you threatened by the thought that you might have to race against Andrew Talansky next year?
Actually, not so much. I mean, I've had experience with this in the past. We've had I can count 5 or 6 ex-pro cyclists from all sorts of pro tour teams who have come across, and as soon as they imagine that that the cycling is going to remain the same as before, but actually as soon as they start swimming and running, all those three sports just work against each other. You're swimming and you get too big in the upper body, and then you get heavy on the bike and it drains your energy to some extent, and then when you start running you lose your biking legs, you get a bit skinnier, and that affects your swimming, and it all works against you, and that's why triathlon's such a hard sport to get right. So he's going to have at least like 2 or 3 years where he's going to struggle figuring it out. He's also got nutrition to contend with, and he's got to learn to swim and run. I do know. I think he was a good swimmer in the past, so he's going to have a bit of a head start with that. But the guys are so strong and so conditioned, and it's going to be hard. But he is 28 years old only, and that was very, very young to retire from a successful cycling career. So it'd be really interesting to watch.
I mean, I guess also he is obviously already a good time trialist, whereas lots of the cyclists who come to triathlon are maybe more, sprinters or something. So he's got that on his side. But if you saw him out here in Kona and he came up to you and he's like, "Oh, Will, pro triathlete, can you give me any advice?" Would you? And what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, maybe in exchange for some of his advice, because I could do with a lot of what he's got, and he could definitely do with a lot of what I've got. So it'd be really interesting to talk to him. I'm not going to give that much away from him because there's already too many strong cyclists in the sport for my liking.
I like it. Honest. Thanks, Will. Last week we opened up the debate as to whether celebrities should be given a free slot in Kona, and it opened up a pretty good debate, and the results are in from the poll. Only 3% of you didn't have an opinion, but 16% of you said yes, celebrities should be given that slot. 31% said no, but the winning result was a yes, but in a separate event, had 48%. Well, this week we want to know who you think is going to win the men's race at the Ironman World Champs. And I'm going to cheat slightly. I'm going to get Will to give us the 4 options. Who do you think?
So the 4 options that I said were Jan Frodeno, Sebastian Kienle, Bart Aernouts and Lionel Sanders.
Great, well those are your 4 choices, but if you think it's going to be someone other than them, we'd love to know who you think it could be. Just leave your comments or your suggestions in the comments below. And to vote, just click on the poll above Will's head. Our race news is going to be pretty brief, as there was only one race last week. It was the World Cup in Sarasota that got shortened from a triathlon to a duathlon due to algae in the water, and then it got shortened again due to the heat to a sprint distance duathlon. And on the women's side, the champion was Yuri Iri of Japan.
And on the men's side, it was Rodriguez Gonzalez from Mexico.
On to Caption Competition, and last week we used this photo of Mark suffering after a VO2 test. We've had some good suggestions, quite a few Bane jokes from Batman The Dark Knight Rises, and we've let Will choose the best caption this week. Who have you gone for, Will?
I picked out the winner from Dill Pickle. Another VO2 test, the bane of my existence. Very good, Dill.
Well, thanks for that one, Dill. If you want to claim your free cap, just get in touch. And for this week, we've got a picture of me riding my new pimped out ride in Kona, and we'd love to hear what suggestions you've got for any captions. Just leave them in the comment section below. Moving on to try DIY, and again we've had some great ideas sent in. Picked a few of our favourites. This one here from Amit on Facebook, using old inner tubes to repair his swim paddles. Now Amit, I love this, and I didn't actually realise that this is what our coach used to give us. So when I was a swimmer, a young swimmer way back when, and I used to have always breaking my paddles, and he used to give out like spare what I thought were straps. Didn't realise they were inner tubes, so yeah, I like that one. And Will, what have we got next?
This next one from Martin Stefan from Facebook, using his clip-on aero bars to carry extra hydration. So he's got some apple juice in there he's chosen, but I've also seen this this sort of thing with strapping a baguette to your top tube and things like that. So it's all good. It's all, whatever gets you around the race, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure you'd survive a pothole with that, but
no, yeah, straight off.
On nice smooth roads might work.
Yeah.
And our final one is James Reader on Facebook, using this makeshift work stand, and he's got a loop of rope to hang his bike up by the saddle, so he can clean his gears fully, but might be a little bit wobbly hanging from there. But we still like the idea, and if you've got any of your own ideas, just send them in using the hashtag TryDIY on Twitter and on Facebook. Well, that's it for this week's show. Sadly, Will's had to dash off, but we're so grateful for him joining us and stepping in last minute. Well, coming up on the rest of the week, tomorrow we've got a first look at exciting brand new Zip wheels. Then on Friday we're going to be doing a course preview from here in Kona. Saturday is Tim van Berkel's pro bike, where we get to see his giant Trinity. And then on Sunday it's going to be a feature from here in Kona. Monday, how to wash and store your wetsuit. Tuesday, a training video. And then Wednesday we're going to still be here in Kona for the GTN show. If you've enjoyed this show and you like the input from our special guest Will Clarke, remember, give us the thumbs up like, and to subscribe to GTN, just click on the globe. And if you want to see our experiment from Team Bath, where we looked at how cycling cadence affects your run, just click over here. And then finally, for a pro bike with Susie Cheetham, click down here.